Tension between Iran and Israel has been building quietly. Shadow operations, cyber attacks, proxy conflicts across Syria and Lebanon. But now, the situation is becoming more direct. In recent public discussions, voices inside the United States have warned against a direct war. The concern is simple. Iran is not Iraq. Iran is not Afghanistan. Iran is a regional power with decades of preparation. Unlike past conflicts, Iran has invested heavily in asymmetric warfare. That means they do not need to match America jet for jet. They focus on different strategies: drone swarm tactics, precision missile systems, naval disruption operations, and hardened underground missile facilities built deep inside mountains. This changes the equation completely. One of the biggest concerns among defense analysts is Iran's hypersonic missile development. Hypersonic weapons travel at speeds above Mach 5. At those speeds, traditional missile defense systems have far less reaction time. Some military observers claim that key targets in the region could be reached within minutes if escalation begins. Even more strategically important is geography. The Strait of Hormuz is one of the most critical oil choke points in the world. Nearly 20% of global oil supply moves through that narrow waterway. If conflict disrupts that passage even temporarily, global oil prices could spike dramatically within hours. Energy markets would panic, stock markets would react, and inflation pressures worldwide could increase immediately. This is why this conflict is not just military, it is economic. Meanwhile, Hezbollah has publicly drawn what they describe as a red line. If Iran's supreme leader is directly targeted, they have suggested it would trigger full-scale regional escalation. That could open multiple fronts simultaneously: Lebanon, northern Israel, Syria, possibly even Gaza. Saudi Arabia is watching carefully, balancing its diplomatic position. India has openly shown political support for Israel. Russia and China are observing every development closely, because alliances turn local wars into global strategic confrontations. And once alliances activate, escalation becomes harder to control. Recent negotiations reportedly included strict demands from Washington: dismantle nuclear facilities, transfer enriched material, permanently halt certain nuclear activities. Iran rejected these conditions. From Tehran's point of view, such demands undermine sovereignty. From Washington's perspective, they are necessary to prevent nuclear weaponization. But history shows something very important. When diplomacy collapses, military signaling increases, and we are now seeing increased military signaling from all sides. If Iran were significantly weakened, China could lose a strategic oil partner. Russia could lose important regional leverage. Global energy markets could destabilize. And if China or Russia provide indirect political or technological support, the conflict could expand beyond the Middle East. Modern wars are no longer fought only with tanks and fighter jets. They are fought with cyber systems, with economic sanctions, with energy control, with supply chains. And global markets are extremely sensitive to uncertainty. Iran says it will not surrender to pressure. Israel says it will act to defend its security. The United States says it will protect its interests and allies. Missiles remain ready. Naval fleets remain positioned. Diplomacy appears fragile. And history teaches us something dangerous. Major wars often begin not because leaders want them, but because miscalculations spiral out of control. One radar misread, one retaliatory strike, one political misstep, and escalation becomes unstoppable. If war begins, it will not simply decide the future of Iran. It will not simply decide the future of Israel. It could test the strength of American global dominance. It could shake energy markets. And it could mark a turning point in 21st century geopolitics. The world is watching. The question is, will this remain a crisis or become the spark that reshapes the world order?